welcome to Life Creates Art. This is our new video on Fridays where my husband Jason is going to be joining me. Yay!
Jason speaks.
But first of all, I want to thank you on behalf of Jason and myself to all of our subscribers and our new subscribers, those that click on every day to check in and see our videos. We want to thank you so much. We have some pretty exciting news down below. You will find our little store. Right?
Yep.
It's our store.
Check it out.
Everything that we recommend to you, from art supplies to books, in the kit.com. So it is down below, kit.com/lifecreatesart. And we're super excited. And we're still building it, still building our little recommendation store. Anyway, I'm going to let him tell you about himself, and then we'll talk about us as a goofy couple.
Okay. Well, I've been here about, almost 2 years?
No, it's been over 2 years.
Over 2 years, yeah. Over 2 years. Moved here, and we've almost been married 2 years.
Yes. That's it.
That's the trivia question I have to know.
When's our anniversary?
And it's November 6th.
November 6th. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh,
okay.
Man, it was not on the notes here anywhere. Anyway.
Okay, so where do you work?
I work on the phones there at NASA Ames. So.
He makes sure everybody can talk.
Yeah, everybody else does all the exciting stuff. I do just the phones. That's the phones.
It's not just the phones.
Yeah, it's just the phones.
Everybody needs to talk to each other at NASA.
It's a little important sometimes.
He's the man.
Yep.
So we wanted to start this special video series simply because we really felt like in order to make your life a masterpiece, which is what Life Creates Art is about, we needed to know that we were doing our part in making sure that all of your relationships, not just your marriages, but any partnerships or
boyfriends, girlfriends, all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing. This stuff applies to both.
Absolutely. It was strong, and it's strong and solid. Mm-hmm. And we came from a situation where we've been both married before. And so we've done a lot of learning. I have 5 kids, and
I have none.
Well, he has stepkids now.
I have some now.
So what we wanted to talk about was, we haven't been married that long, but it's how we started our relationship that has really I think it's made a really incredible difference in the way that we treat one another and the way that our relationship has been for the last 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. Because really we made the decision very, very early on to do these 4 components that we're going to be talking about that we feel is, in our opinion, key to a healthy relationship. So you want to take it?
Sure. Let's start with recognition. Let's just go one by one.
Recognition is vitally important in a relationship when you have a situation like ours. Jason is a gamer. We are not talking about video games today, honey.
Wait a minute.
We're not.
No.
We're not going to talk about Fallout 4.
We're not talking about the influence Fallout 4 has had on the
No. We're not going to talk about the influence.
Even after being out for
okay, if any of you want to see the influence that Fallout 4
cut to
has
Fallout
had,
4 footage right here.
Yeah, has had in your life, then please leave comments below, and Jason will make his own video. But anyway, recognition is a huge part of our different hobbies that we have. So he's a gamer, and I'm an artist, and we came into this relationship recognizing that our hobbies were different.
And very important to each other.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The thing about Jason is that I recognized right away that was something that he needed when he came home from work. And not always, but when he came home from work, it's pretty high stress. And he needed some time to chill out and calm down. And video games and single player is mostly what you play, right?
Yep.
And so when I recognized that, it helped me to understand it a little bit easier. And same went for you. You saw my art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both of us had to spend time on our hobbies, for lack of a better term. It was a little bit different for the artist because you get inspired and then you really have to create. Me, I can pretty much sit down and play a video game any old time if I'm in the mood.
Mm-hmm.
But for the artist, sometimes you have different times that you need to create.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I stay up past when he goes to bed, which we really don't like to do.
We don't do it very often.
No, we don't. But then again, I sometimes am up until 2:00 in the morning because I've just got this drive to create. So we had to recognize that. That's the first step. Let's move ahead. This becomes a point where you have to recognize that what they need and not what you want all the time. Because if I got what I wanted, if I just did I want, then Jason would never be playing video games because I would want to hog his time all the time because I would love being with him so much. And I want to just have him with me and in my space all the time.
And I recognized early on that I wanted it all. I wanted to play the video games and spend time with Shelly. So, yeah, I wanted it all. And how do you do that? Well,
you also, the next step, number 2. So we have recognition. We recognize what one another's needs were. And it's a vital need for me to paint because I put a lot of my emotions in, and Jason recognized that. Next one is respect. Mm-hmm. So recognize what your partner needs, and then you have to find a place where you respect and honor what they need.
And respect that time that they spend on the hobby or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, when you show someone respect, your partner especially, you are really showing them love. And you are bringing them to a place where you are saying to you, I respect your needs and I will step back and allow you to have your time. And I respect that. And that shows them a lot of love and respect. And you should have that. Next, let me talk to you about when it comes to respect. I didn't respect video games. I'm a mother of 5, and I hated video games. Hated them. So I came into this relationship not respecting video games at all. But then Jason started showing me the art of video games. I don't play them. I'm sure that at some point I want him to go paint and things like that with me.
Right. We're going to do a little switch.
We're going to do a
sometime.
switch. Yeah. Where I play video games, but I had no respect for video games. So I came into this going, hey, no. Video games.
Total waste of time.
Total. I'm more important. And that's where I had to step back and recognize and respect. This relationship was really important to me to make sure that the foundation was right, because I didn't, we don't want to keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. If you do that, that's the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different result. So we both really made the commitment to do things differently. And next,
that brought us to communication, which is something both of us had to work on.
We did.
Big time.
We both had to work on
Probably more than me than you. I don't know. Maybe it's level.
I had to work to communicate in a different way.
Yeah.
You didn't communicate at all.
No, well, there's that.
Yeah, no. When something would happen, Jason would just sort of go into his little snail shell and just, and hover inside of there, sometimes for hours.
It's comfy in there.
And while we were dating, sometimes it was a couple of days where before I would hear from him. And
well, it was a couple of days until we talked about the issue. That was the big difference.
Yeah.
We'd go through the motions in the meantime. You know how that is. Yikes.
Yeah. And I'm Italian.
And
so
that's a different communication.
That is a different type of communication. So as you can see, Not that I was a yeller or anything like that, because I had learned a long, long time ago that yelling accomplishes nothing. So I did it, and I was in counseling for a little bit there, but I learned that yelling accomplishes nothing. So I was still working on my communication skills as far as doing what I talked to you about in other videos, stopping and thinking before I spoke. And it was something that just, I had to work on it. But what we made the decision in our communication was that we were going to, I made the request of Jason, actually.
Right. And this was a big step. And it was really simple. Just say, how much time do you want to spend on your video games tonight? Mm-hmm. And let's plan our night, not just have a default and either sit in front of the TV or sit in front of video games. It could be anything that you're by default doing. Just set a time. I want to spend time with Shelly every night. But when should that be? It needs to be, we need to agree on a time.
Because we need to make each other a priority too. Video games are not your priority. Art is not my priority over him.
And there's only so many hours every night when we get home from work or whatever. After dinner, if we go out and come back, there's only so much time you've got in the evening to do all that. You can easily burn that away doing a painting or doing video games.
Oh, absolutely. So
then you end up, that's no time together. We do spend a lot of the time in the same office.
Yeah. This is where I paint, and right there
behind you, you can't see it, but that's my computer's over there.
So we do like to be in the same room.
And that's fun. And we do that.
Yeah, but that's something we discuss. So when he gets home, I will say to him, first of all, I ask him if anything interesting happened at work today. That's my thing. I have to think of something. My kids, it broadens your imagination when you ask that question, not how was work? Fine. It makes them think when you say, did anything interesting happen at work today? And it makes them think about even the big things, small things, and almost like a grateful journal. Anyway, back to communication. So I had to communicate my needs to Jason, that I needed to spend time with him. Not only that we needed to communicate about things when they came up. Now, we are going to be talking more in depth about communication next week. So we're going to do a whole nother video. It's all going to be about communication and
how we do it.
Yes. Just a sneak peek, naked talks. All right. That'll get you coming back.
That's all you get.
But you have to communicate with one another and express your needs to one another. And this is where recognition and respect also come into play. Because if you communicate your needs to someone, the other person, you being the other person, if Jason says, I need to play video games tonight, I need to just chill, and I had other plans in my head, then I need to talk to him and communicate with him what my needs were, not go, but I was planning on this.
Expectations can get you into big trouble. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And so you have to just communicate gently with one another. But as far as communication too, we need to be vulnerable with one another. So Jason was not a great communicator, and that was something he had to work on. And I had to work on making sure that I didn't say things that I didn't mean, but were led by complete emotion, and continue to work on that. So now we have recognition, respect, communication. And again, we're going to be talking more about communication next week, much more in depth, and we'll tell you a couple of Jason Shelley stories. And then naked talks. So your partner should be the one person that you can fully communicate with and be vulnerable with. Next is following through. Absolutely. So when you have a need, you recognize that your partner has a need, you respect them for what that need is. You guys talk about it, you communicate about it, then follow through. Follow through with with honoring them in what they need. If you're feeling that there's been times, for example, there's been times when I have not wanted to be in here to paint. And so I'm out and I'm sitting there studying or watching a show or something. And Jason's in here playing video games. And it's maybe going over the time a little bit that he said. So I'm not going to come in here. I'm not going to storm in here. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, hey, when you coming out? And following through with communicating. And not only that, follow through has to do with him putting down his video game and saying, I recognize, I respect your needs. Thank you for communicating them to me. And now I am going to meet those needs. You always want to be thinking about what the needs are of your partner.
And follow through is really the fun part of all this. You've already done the work. You've put the time in. Yeah. You've communicated the needs, all of that stuff. This is the time where you get to enjoy each other and enjoy your time that you've set aside for whatever you're going to do.
Yeah.
Be it with spending time as a couple or doing your own thing or doing your own thing alone in the same room.
The same room. I love you.
I love you too.
So follow through with your commitments. If you tell your partner you're going to be on video games for an hour, respect that they don't want you on there all night. If they don't, communicate and get off in an hour and leave it's difficult to leave your art because it flows, but even your partner will, if you have recognition, respect, and communication, your partner will understand when that you need to keep going just for a little while longer. Because
Same with video games. Sometimes you need an extra.
That little extra.
Whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I remember when kids I would tell them dinner was ready, and they would say, let me get to a safe spot.
A safe spot, yeah.
Let me get to a safe spot.
They haven't changed much.
And I would try to communicate with them. And I would say,
that drives me nuts.
How? It does? It drives you nuts?
Oh, yeah. I don't like when they do that kind of thing. I like to be able to just drop it and answer the phone or do whatever.
That's why I love you.
Or answer a text from Shelly. No, I'm just kidding.
So my kids would get to a safe spot. And yeah, safe spots. I hated safe spots because I would ask them how long it'd take. Oh, I'm almost there. An hour later. Anyway, that's just a little story. So following through with your commitments, respecting their needs, spending time with your partner and listen to them. Recognize, respect, communicate, and follow through. We're really excited to be bringing this to you guys. We're following our passion. We're doing something that we love. And this is something that we love to do together. It's a common goal. And so if you are in a relationship and you need to find something that you guys can do together that is a common goal, work at finding that. Communicate about it and figure out where you guys can meet up in the middle with something that you're passionate about. Anyway, now, I'm sorry, honey, I didn't mean to interrupt. No, but let me say my point. What's in my head, because otherwise I'll go crazy. What I was going to say is that when we do this channel, our relationship is always going to be primary, and so we try to put out at least three videos. Now we're gearing for 4. But if there's ever a week that you see that 1 or 2 is not coming out, it's because we're needing to just spend time together and making sure that we're the priority.
Absolutely.
So I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Oh, it's okay. Just wanted to say, if you guys have any questions, comments, we'd love to hear your stories in the comments. We'd love to hear them. Anything you guys have to say, that'd be great.
Yeah, we want to hear any struggles that you have or anything that you would like us to talk about on this channel in your relationship as a partner and with hobbies or whatever. And I thank you so much for watching, and we thank you so much for watching. And we hope to see you again soon, you guys. All right. We love you. Bye.
Bye.